Hedera Hashgraph is a third generation blockchain which is backed by some of the leading names in the industry. That's right, it's backed by some of the most impressive names possible, right? From the likes of Google to Tata Communications to UCL and whatnot, right? It has some of the best organizations backing it. Does that automatically make it an amazing new blockchain that's going to disrupt Ethereum and several other blockchains that have come up? Well, let's find out. Most importantly, we'll try and answer three questions. Right? What was the revenue earned by Hedera last year? What is the price of Hedera in the next few years, and the risks associated with this crypto? This is very important because you, as an investor, ultimately want to find out how much will your investment really grow, and that's what we'll try and figure out. So, what is Hedera? Right? In very simple terms, Hedera is a third generation public ledger that is looking to solve a few problems that existed with Ethereum and some of the second generation blockchains. It's increasing transaction speeds. It's reducing the average fee per transactions. Making better the transaction confirmation time and reducing the energy usage per transaction. Right, as simple as that. It's trying to make it better on all of these four parameters. But is it really working? What's going on? Well, if you look at the metrics, Hedera in the last 12 months, right? Let me put a 1 month. Yeah, in the last 1 month, approximately did about 30 million transactions, right? And that's across different services. There is a fee for every single transaction. There is no mining, reward as such. Here, there is a fees for every single transaction. Depending on the transaction, the fee varies. So what I have tried to do is take the different aspects, right, the different parameters on what Hedera really charges on, and considering what is the number of transactions that have happened across each of them, right, like how many created accounts, how many NFTs, how many smart contracts, etc. I've tried to calculate a year-long number of transactions, which is close to about 356 million transactions for last year. I'm actually being optimistic here, right? And I'm adding a fee. Right now, the fee ranges from, let's say, 0.0001 to 0.005. There is a fee of $1, $2 in some very rare cases, but mostly the fee ranges along this. The exact fee for each of these I was not able to get, but what I did is I've given you a spectrum. Right? There's a lower end and an upper end. The lower end is considering the 0.0001 as a transaction fee for all this. The upper end is 0.05 for all this, although the weighted average of the fee is more likely on the lower side than the upper side. If we consider this, the fees can range anywhere between $35,000 to 17 million or close to $18 million for the last 12 months. Is that great? Honestly, no. Right? It's not that great. In fact, there is more to this. Right? Now let's look at circulating supply. This is where price impact really comes. Today, Hedera has about 22 billion tokens in circulation. The total supply is about 50 billion. So that means 46% of all cryptos of Hedera are already in circulations, right? Now, how does that impact you as an investor? That's what we'll try and find out. What will be the price in the next few years? So what I've essentially done is try to figure out what is the transactions per year average and what could be the maximum, right? This is based on the numbers that are given on Hedera's metrics website itself. Based on that, I've tried to take this, and based on the fees that you saw up, right here, which is lower end 0.0001 to upper end at 0.005, I've tried to create a price spectrum to see at a lower end, at an average demand and at a maximum demand, what could be the revenue that is earned by Hedera. And then I've taken the circulating supply. Now, if you look at the circulating supply, today it's about 22 billion. I've actually taken 13 here because as per the supply schedule, it was supposed to be at a lower end. Maybe something got changed. If you look at the supply schedule, the cryptos, the tokens, or the number of coins in circulation is increasing. Now, this is very important. This is what most investors do not realize, that as most investors have invested in a project in its early days. Right now, most of these projects are probably 3 years old, 2 years old, 4 years old, etc. A large chunk of these projects were born in the last cycle, which was roughly between 2017, 2018 and sorts. And many of these projects were born then. Today, they're all about 4 years old. They have a supply schedule. Most of them had low circulating supply, and as the time goes on, the supply of tokens will only increase, and this has a huge impact on price action, right? An enormous impact, in fact. If you look at the circulating supply, although it's 22 billion as per the original supply schedule, it is supposed to be 13. I'll just take this because this is more this is more conservative. In fact, I don't think this will probably give you a better price than what expected. From 13 billion by 2027 might go up to 32.5 billion in circulating supply. Right? That's totally about 64 or 65% of all of their coins in circulation. If you consider that, and if you consider the amount of fees that is being collected as per the transactions, I've considered a 200% increase year on year. If you take all that, right, very optimistic scenarios, by 2027, I think the price of Hedera might reach maybe $0.50. Where is it today? Today is at roughly about 6 cents, right, close to 7 cents maybe. All-time high was about $0.50. This was about 11 months ago. That means even after 5 years, in 2027, Hedera might just reach $0.50. And this is, taking the most optimistic scenario possible. Right? Bear in mind that this is the most optimistic scenario possible, where we are considering the highest possible fees, the highest possible transactions, and the lowest possible circulating supply. And with that, this will reach about $0.50. That means even for it to reach the all-time high that it reached 11 months ago is a long shot in 5 years. Right? That's how I'm looking at it. So if you're somebody who's holding on to Hedera, then you might want to think of exiting from it, as and when you might get a decent price, right? Maybe due to emotions or due to just the market itself going up, the price might go up. If that happens, consider it as the best thing that has happened to you and exit, because most likely the price will shuttle somewhere between maybe 10 cents to 15 cents. That's it, right? Not more than that. I don't think the price can go beyond that. As per my calculations, I think that's all Hedera is worth in the next 5 years, and I have like solid numbers to back it up. I've linked the sheet in the description. You can go through it and tell me if I'm wrong in any of my calculations. Leave that in the comments and I'll go through it. Now, what else is happening? Hedera, if you look at their community, right, they have like on Discord 13,000 members, right? This is a huge risk. Right? This is like literally the first place that you bring in the early developers, bring in the early members of your community. 13,000 members, that's a joke. Because I'm just comparing with something like a Stefan, for instance. 379,000 members. Right? You see the difference? Huge difference. Right? This is how much Hedera, although backed by some of the best names in the industry, right? Look at the names in the industry. I don't think is going to do any better because of the fact that the community is not coming together. Community is an extremely, extremely important part of the crypto space, of the Web3 world. Without the community, nobody's going to come and build great applications, especially for something like Hedera, where you're a general purpose blockchain. You have so many use cases. For all these use cases, somebody's got to come out and start building these, right? Of course, there might be a few, Fortune 500 companies or such trying to build it, but like we have seen historically with tech companies, it's always the underdog. It's always someone new, someone with a fresh thinking, who comes out and challenges the incumbent. And I think this project, backed by a whole lot of incumbents, might not fare so well in this space. This is just some of the risks of Hedera. In fact, I feel this whole blockchain is not very transparent. They are, they're too centralized, and for those reasons, and the fact that the price is not moving anywhere anytime soon, I think I'm totally out on this project. Right? This is one crypto that I'm not really investing in. Although it sounds great, names sound good, the team, tokenomics, a lot of things sound extremely good. But on the whole, I think I'm totally out on this crypto. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it. Welcome to the Wave Crypto Club. Stay tuned for more such amazing videos.